Herzlich willkommen to Lesson 1 for German for Heritage Speakers. Today we're going to talk about organization and reflection primarily, and then we'll get started with the actual classes. But it's really important for you to have an understanding of what you need to prepare yourself for this sequence. And also to kind of reflect on what are your goals, what do you want to accomplish, and where are you at in your studies. Because you all are going to come from different points of your experience, of course, with German. So this will hopefully get you a good idea of what you can do to reconnect with the language and get a good start on your learning. So let's look at my outline. All right, lesson 1 or Lektion 1 is broken into those 3 parts: organization, reflection or reconnection, and getting started. You can download my lesson plan in a 3-lesson bundle on teacherspayteachers.com. I will provide a link on the bottom. And feel free to pause here and take your own notes and read through this thoroughly. But generally, this is what the organization looks like, followed by the reflection, which is broken into those 3 questions that I want you to take notes for. And then you can get started with these tasks. And you'll see, or you've already noticed, that my lesson plans are bilingual, so English and German. Depending on where you're at, you may just read the German or you have to go back to the English. It's not literally translated because that's not how language works. So you'll see that I'm talking or telling you the same thing, just in the 2 different languages. All right, from that, you can already guess a dictionary would be a great investment if you don't have one already, or maybe a friend has one that they don't use anymore. So ask around. A dictionary in form of an actual thick book, so that you can write in it, that you can make Eselsohren in it, something you can look up if you don't know it, and of course a notebook for you to scribble your notes in. Ideally you have a 3-part notebook or 3 little ones where you separate vocabulary from grammar from free writing. But that's really up to you. If you work well with electronics, feel free to use your iPad device or whatever device you have and use that for your note-taking. But get organized. Make sure you have a good space where you can sit down and, take a couple minutes a day or several times a day where you can sit down. Can be different locations, of course. Now that it's getting warm out, at least here in Colorado, it might be nice to also think about an outside space where you like to read or study or listen to music or other media in German. So just get organized and think about those kind of things. The reflection part, I really think it's one of the most important things, actually, to make sure you understand what your actual goals are. And this can be a giant goal, like, oh, I want to be able to read Nietzsche or, I don't know, Kant or whatever. But it can also be a tiny little goal, like, oh, I want to be able to just name words around me. Like, I'm sitting in my kitchen right now, so I could say, oh, der Tisch right here, or oh, der Kühlschrank. So, whatever it is, make sure you set your goals and reassess your goals too, but we'll get to that in a later episode again. So definitely goal setting should be on your plan. Reflection also includes to think about, what do you already know? Where do I come from? Why am I even thinking about reconnecting with the language or to deepen my knowledge in German? So take a few minutes on that as well. And you can write it down too, or you can just verbalize it for yourself in your head. So yeah, those are the 2 main points. And then you also maybe want to think about getting good resources such as a grammar resource book. So if you're lacking grammar, that's a good idea to think about. If you're lacking vocab, maybe the dictionary already will be a great start, or just vocabulary lists that you can find online or that you can generate yourself. And then also think about revisiting the basics of German. You may think, oh, I'm far ahead of that. I don't need the basics. But you might be mistaken. There might be a tiny little thing that you overlooked, and that can make a real big difference. Articles, for example, gender. A lot of people say, oh, why do I need to know daddy or das? Doesn't really matter. It does, because, the case is built on that, and our adjective endings built on that. So, grammatically speaking, you want to get it right from the start so that you can't mess it up along the road. So revisit the alphabet, even the sound of the letters in German, and yeah, use all the resources that you can get a hold of to reemphasize your understanding. So get your dictionary, get your notebook, and get the resources in order for you to achieve your goals. And then check your goals and make a plan. And in the next episode, we will talk about the goals in more detail. So make sure you have a general idea and have jotted down some ideas so that in the next lesson you can get started of like breaking it down and making an actual action plan of how to approach your studies. So thank you so much for watching this. If you like this and if you're interested in watching the upcoming episodes for German of Heritage Learners, or even some of my other German 365 videos that I've already put out there. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. Any comments are always welcome, and I would love to help you out as much as I can with your German studies. So take care and tschüss.